Hi everyone again. I'm happy to see that all of you here taking part in another very exciting milestone for us at Bridgewise. This milestone brings us one step further into the revolution of AI-based technologies in the investments world. Bridgewise originated from a vision grounded in the belief that technology could pave the way for more intelligent and efficient investment decisions. From our initial prototype to the global category leader we have become today, our mission has consistently held firm to uncover investment opportunities within challenges, connecting all investors to the markets. Nowadays, less than 20% of global equities and stocks are covered by the existing and traditional research firms. And over 50% of the market cap of those equities is held by 3 stock exchanges. Bridgewise bridges this gap by making high-end research and investment tools accessible to all investors around the globe, using AI and natural language generation technologies. Our up-to-date fundamental analysis covers all global stocks in any language. With our unbiased AI-based recommendations, investors all over the globe can make more informed investment decisions, no matter what their background is or what language they speak. They can also discover endless untapped opportunities for markets they didn't even have access to in terms of easy to understand data, insights, or research. Over the past 3 years, tens of clients worldwide, including banks, investment houses, trading platforms, brokers, and stock exchanges joined us, allowing over 2 million of their users to enjoy the benefit of Bridgewise AI analysis. Just a reminder, how does Bridgewise AI analysis work its magic? Let's break it down. So we start with gathering the raw data sets from multiple sources, updating them twice a day. Our primary source is, of course, fundamental data from companies' disclosures and other credible outlets. Then our AI rolls up its sleeves and cleans up the data, eliminating the noise and ensuring the data is reliable. It then structures and enriches it with additional info from our 25 years databases. Our AI models generate analyses and scores for various industry-specific stock elements. After that, we provide clear recommendations in all languages with our natural language generation engine. Of course, all backed by our scoring models. Our natural language engine generates the reports in 13 languages now, with the ability to onboard any requested language within 6 weeks' time. Please note, there is no automatic translation process, but actual language generation in the original language presented to the user, which creates almost zero quality loss between one language to another. Of course, we keep all of our reports user-friendly, so everything the user needs is just a click away. Our toolkit includes software as a service, or SaaS, for web and mobile platforms via customizable widgets, or our API gateway, providing high-quality financial research and investment strategies. And now, of course, Bridget. Our next product innovation is coming to life. We are very excited to have you on this journey with us and unveil how it's going to impact our clients and users' offerings. Thank you.
So listen, I'm very happy to be here and excited to introduce you all to our newest team member, Bridget. Chat functionality, and specifically financial chats, are clearly in their infancy. While we're excited to be one of the first platforms on the market, it's really our differentiated value that we're the most proud of. The problem that we're looking to address is providing a financial platform that goes beyond being a data provider or a simple aggregation tool. More information is generally a good thing, but too much can be confusing, overwhelming, and in some cases inconsistent, which is an issue that is an issue that we see with some of the products in the market today. An example of this is when an aggregation platform offers research reports from various sources and has conflicting recommendations. Rather than promoting a confident investment decision, often the investor could be left confused and ends up not making a decision at all. Rather, it's our belief that investors need a tool that is accessible to all, objective, consistent, and actionable. And Bridget does just that. Bridget is a tool that you can communicate with naturally, has very broad coverage, and provides advice that is both regulated and actionable. A key differentiator for Bridget is her greater accessibility. First and foremost, as Dor touched upon with our research reports, she is multilingual. So instead of low-quality online translation tools, Bridget truly speaks your language, which is critical if you're trying to make a financial decision or investment. But our access also refers to coverage. And Dor did mention this, that, and many people aren't aware that Wall Street analysts only cover 20% of the publicly traded equities around the world. Alternatively, Bridget covers 80%, and that means we're helping investors find opportunities that most people aren't even looking at. It's also worth noting that we don't have the potential biases historically found with traditional bank analysts. As a third-party research provider, our research is 100% proprietary and is purely objective. We are looking exclusively at fundamental metrics, 250 to be exact, and analyze their historical correlations to price movements. As a result, this enables Bridget to make insights that are objective and empower investors to confidently take action. We do have a demo coming up, but just to show the language functionality, here's a screenshot of Bridget working with an investor in both Spanish and French. You'll notice she's able to recognize the language being spoken to her and respond accordingly. I also think it's important to point out that our language capability was built with both internal and external research analysts from around the world. One of our highest priorities was to perfect each language and dialect to provide the best possible experience as compared to what an investor might get if they were using an online tool. So how does Bridget work? And what have we done different than other AI fintechs? This diagram definitely oversimplifies it, but Bridget has built, Bridgewise, we have built our own proprietary language model to handle investment inquiries and combined it with the power and conversational benefits of leading large language models. With this type of framework, when asked about an investment, Bridget directs the question to our proprietary platform. This enables us to provide a controlled and regulated response that is as natural as possible. Moving on to our partners, we often work with investment houses, banks, trading platforms, and exchanges. Banks and investment houses generally use us as an internal tool to improve the efficiency and knowledge base of their client-facing teams. These use cases can range from financial advisory teams having the ability to speak about more companies and opportunities than are historically covered by the house, all the way to asset management divisions using our analyses to build custom strategies, indices, and portfolios. When it comes to trading platforms, our integrations are geared towards increasing customer engagement and trading activity. In one of our case studies recently, a client reported that 70% of their customers are using our research, and that engagement was up 30 minutes per month on average. Last and certainly not least are stock exchanges. In 2023, they've been one of our most exciting partners, and they use us both internally and externally. Bridgewise enables internal teams to offer more cost-effective research coverage to their issuers and their prospects, as well as better market intelligence to their issuers' investor relations teams. Externally, we enhance the exchange's websites, providing a more comprehensive level of information and comparison tools for both investors and the IR teams that are accessing the website directly. So now I've told you a little bit about Bridget, but let's move on to a brief demo. So for this example, we're going to ask Bridget to help us find some good opportunities within the Japanese market. First, we're going to ask her to identify the top fundamentally ranked companies across all sectors. Now, after a little bit of thought, you can see we have the top 5 Japanese companies listing both their fundamental score along with the Bridgewise recommendation. Next, we can ask her to provide a little bit more detail on a specific name. And I think for this example, we're going to use Sampo. Now, Bridget's starting to give us some good high-level information around the industry, sector, score, and recommendation, as well as recent news and highlights that contributed to that recommendation. Now, we could dig deeper on the fundamentals or individual financial statements, but we want to show that Bridget's also able to examine stocks from a technical perspective. So our next question was a year-to-date performance question on Sampo, with the goal to understand if there's any technical momentum. Now you can see in her answer, she's showing year-to-date performance as well as color on the 5, 50, and 200-day moving averages. Combined with strong fundamentals, specifically in EBITDA, EPS and EBITDA, as she pointed out, Bridget feels Sampo has a high probability of overperforming sector peers. Now we're moving away from the Japan example, showing another feature where she's able to compare companies to their peers. Here we're looking at NPN versus MELI. Now, Bridget is recommending both of them as a whole and does a nice job highlighting the factors driving that recommendation, pointing out the key differences and also making a final conclusion on her feelings on the comparison. And then last but not least, as discussed, Bridget understands the language being spoken to her, and we want to show that. So here, we've asked her to look into NPN, but in Spanish. Now, unfortunately, unlike Bridget, I am not multilingual, but our Spanish-speaking partners and clients assure me that she is fluent. So what's next? Going forward, we're continuously working with our partners to enhance our platform and add value in new ways. 2 things that are currently in our pipeline are an ETF analysis tool and an AI-driven advisor. For the ETF, we're leveraging our analyses that we currently do for individual stocks and expanding it to ETFs. Since most retail investors allocate to both ETFs and single stocks, we want to make sure that we address their research needs as comprehensively as possible. On the AI-driven advisor, we're working with one of our institutional partners, actually a bank institutional partner, to develop a tool that is always monitoring client portfolios and optimizing them when appropriate. An example of this would be if a customer's holding was downgraded to a sell. Bridget could notify either the human advisor or investor directly, and then additionally make recommendations for replacement securities based on the client's investment guidelines. In conclusion, Bridget's here to democratize investment research to anyone and everyone that wants to participate in the markets. Our approach has been to be as objective and transparent as possible in order to not only help individual investors, but increase capital markets activity for companies that have historically not been covered by Wall Street. Thank you for your time today.